Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to talk about the one question that probably gets asked more than any other question when it comes to things about living in Cambodia. And it's also a question that it doesn't really have a definitive answer, not a one size fits all. Like the visa rules are pretty laid out, it's the same for everybody. There's no variation. But this one is a little bit different. And before we get into that, if you find this video helpful, consider donating to help support the channel. I have links down below for PayPal and Ko-fi.com, and we rely on our supporters to keep bringing you content just like this. We are hoping to get another $50 by the end of the month, and together we can do it. And for those of you saying, hey, quit asking me for $50, I'm not asking you for $50. It's for everybody watching this video. A couple bucks here, $5 here, $10 there. And I think we can do it. And it'll really help us out, and we appreciate it. And also, I have books for sale. And if you want to purchase any of those books, including Live in Cambodia, A Guide for Living in the Kingdom of Wonder, you can do so at the link in the description. All right, so I think anybody who has a YouTube channel will tell you that a YouTube channel about Cambodia will tell you that the question most people have is probably this one. Can I live in Cambodia on X amount of dollars per month? That's what people want to know, because there's a lot of people out there that are on Social Security, they have pensions, they're retired. And of course, if you live in the United States, your Social Security isn't a whole lot of money, So they want to know if I have, typically the amount is about $800. That's the one I get most often. People ask me, can I live in Cambodia on my pension for, I get $800 a month. And the reason that question is so hard is because it depends on your lifestyle, of course. It depends on things you like to do. Do you want to eat locally? Do you want to go out to eat every meal? Do you want to cook some things at home? And if you do cook some things at home, do you want to buy things from the big Western style market, which is going to be more expensive, or at the local wet markets, which is going to be a little bit less expensive? Do you want to go out and party and have a good time, a couple times a month, or do you want to do that a couple times a week? There's just so many variations to people's lifestyles here. And I've always said that the one great thing about Cambodia is that you can live the lifestyle that's best for you. So the question on if you can live in Cambodia on that much money a month, the answer would be yes, you can. But the question you need to ask yourself is, are you going to be happy living that lifestyle? Do you want something bigger and better? Do you want to go out to eat at a steakhouse, a couple times a day, or at the most expensive restaurants, or, what have you? So the question isn't really if you can. The question is, what kind of lifestyle do you want? And I've had people tell me a single person living here can't live comfortably on less than $1,500 a month, and that's absolutely not true. But some people's idea of comfort and living good are going to be different than yours, perhaps. But in this video, I don't want to focus on every little thing you might have to purchase, but I'm going to focus on the big ones, just to let you know how it is possible to do that. And of course, the big ones are going to be a roof over your head, an apartment, your bills that come with that apartment, and of course your food every month, and your basic, personal hygiene supplies that you'll need every month, and things like that. So looking at apartments, listen, if you spend $200 a month on an apartment, it's going to be a nice apartment. It's going to have a separate bedroom. There are all kinds of apartments on the marketplace right now. I mean, so many, it will boggle your mind. $200 a month, you're going to get free Wi-Fi. You're going to get a room cleaning once a week. It's going to come furnished with like a couch and maybe a coffee table, maybe even a TV with cable. It's going to have pots and pans, maybe even a microwave and a washer. Some of them have washing machines. So you don't have to take your clothes to the laundromat. Just wash them and then hang them out to dry. But there's all kind of amenities, and $200 is a good amount for an apartment, because you're going to get a lot of apartment for that money compared to like the United States. $200 a month there, and you're going to be living in a closet. But this is going to be nice and spacious. It's going to come at least partially furnished, maybe not everything you need, but you can buy those separately as one-offs. That's not included in the monthly bill we're about to talk about. But so I'm going to go with that baseline, that as a single person, you get an apartment here for $200 a month. Look through a few of them, and you are going to be amazed at what you can find for that price. So you got your apartment settled. Now the bills, your water is probably going to be no more than $5 a month, no matter how much you use. Water is not that expensive here, but electricity is very expensive here. So that is going to, again, depend on you and how much you use your aircon, how much like electronics you have plugged in all the time, how late and how often do you keep your lights on, and all kinds of different variations on that as well. But typically, let's say you run your aircon a couple hours a day, you turn your lights on at a reasonable time, turn them off at a reasonable time, plus all your charging, and you get an apartment that comes with a refrigerator, which you will for $200 a month. It will have a full-size fridge, and all that. So let's just say your average electric and water bill is like $75 to $100 a month. Okay, so $200 for the apartment, and let's say at the top end $100 a month for your bills. That brings it up to $300. Now, of course, if you go wild and just leave the aircon on all the time, that could actually wind up costing more than your rent, because it is very expensive. So don't do that. But I'm just saying, on average, where you can still be comfortable, still be cool, not overheated. Because eventually you acclimate and realize fans they work just fine and cost a lot less money. But let's say at first, Okay, so let's give you $100 for that. So that's $300. Your yearly visa renewal for an ER extension is going to be about $300. So throw in $25 a month for that as well. So that's $325. Now, talking about food, again, that's going to depend if you like local food, if you want to go out to eat at Western restaurants, do you want to cook some at home, because all those are going to be more expensive or less expensive depending. That's going to be on you. But going out to eat 3 times a day locally, that won't cost more than like $4 or $5 a day. I mean, you can get a bowl of bobor, which I love for breakfast. Bobor is a fantastic breakfast. You can get that for 75 cents at many places. Maybe $1 if it's a sit-down restaurant and they have more overhead, but still. For lunch, I like a good caw. I eat locally, and that's $1.25. And then maybe for dinner, maybe chicken and rice, or some pork and noodles, or pork and rice, and maybe another kind of noodle dish for another $1.25, $1.50. Plus, you get a snack in between, bag of chips, or, just something to snack on, some fruit, get some bananas or something. So yeah, but even with all that, let's say your tastes go a little bit more expensive, give yourself another $200 for food for the month. Going out to eat, or maybe buying your own groceries. I think that's reasonable for a single person, especially the more locally you eat. Like I said, if you want to go out to Western restaurants or shop at the expensive supermarkets, it might be slightly more. But let's just say, on average, where you're going to be full, it's going to be delicious, you're not going to be hungry, another $200 for that. So, that's $525. Give yourself another $30 for personal hygiene products. You need toothpaste, you need deodorant, you need shampoo, you need dishwashing liquid, all that. It probably is not going to come to $30 a month unless you go through it really quick for some reason. But let's just say whatever, you might need some things on top of that more than the basics. So, another $30 for that. So that brings you up to like $555 or something like that $555 a month. And so if you're dealing with a budget of $800, that's going to give you like $250 extra every month. And you can use that, if you want to go out to the bars and have a few drinks every now and again, 2 or 3 times a week. Take, $15, $20. Yeah, it still won't come up to $800. So it is completely possible to live here on $800 a month, despite what the naysayers will say, because it's also possible, if it's a lifestyle you like and that you can afford, to live in a $600-700 a month villa, to eat every night or have your food delivered from a really fancy, expensive Western restaurant, and go out partying till all hours of the morning every night, if you want. Yeah, that's completely possible to spend $1,500 a month here also. But again, it depends on it's not if you can live on that amount of money. Is that what you're happy doing? And if you are and you can afford it, that is great. But I think for $800 a month, most people would be happy. It's very affordable. And like I said, you won't be starving. You'll still have a good time. You'll have money for little extras during the day. Maybe you want a soda, maybe you want a juice, maybe you want to go out and get a coconut. Maybe you want to go out and see some attractions, some things that might cost a few bucks to get into. Just entertainment. Maybe go see a movie. There's a couple of great movie theaters here. Maybe you want that. And with that extra money every month, you can splurge, 2-3 times a month on something that normally you might be a little frugal and go, I don't think I should get that. But you'll be able to afford it, So yeah, it's very possible to live here on that much money. But like I said, can and if you want to are two different things. So that's something you're going to have to determine. And once you get over here and you start acclimating and you begin to see, experience different things and go to different places, like you're not sure if you want to eat this kind of food or this kind of food. But once you get out there and start tasting it, and you're going to have your favorites and you're going to have those that you might want to avoid. And that's going to give you a better idea. Once you're here for a few months, you kind of got it where you kind of know what kind of lifestyle you want to live. Maybe you want to upgrade a little bit, or maybe even want to downgrade a little bit. Maybe you think you're spending too much money for this or that, and then you don't need it. Perhaps. Or perhaps not. But like I said, it's one of those questions that gets asked a lot, and there is no definitive answer for one person. But it's up to you to decide for yourself, basically. But when people ask me if you can, I will definitely say yes every single time. But again, I'm not saying you want to. So that is, as I said, completely up to you to decide. All right, I hope that helped a little bit. And be sure to check out all my links down below. Like I said, I have PayPal and Ko-fi.com. If you want to help support the channel, we appreciate it. There are other channels vlogging from this part of the world, right here in Cambodia, and those are all linked down below. Check out those other channels as well. They're all very good. I recommend them. And if you like horror books, check out my channel, Horror Reads. Every few days, I'll post my reviews of the latest horror books I've read. All right, from Siem, Cambodia, I will talk to you guys in the next one.